A friend sent me a bender to try to repair, and I'm not sure who made this, but I mean, there's some issues. When it first came in, this was rubbing on here, which is probably why they put the leather on there. I'm assuming. I don't know. It wowed the leather. It actually marred out the aluminum as well. And another thing, I don't know if I can get a picture of this. I'll try to hold this up like so you can see this piece here. It's an interesting idea, but I mean, this whole thing is actually loose, and it's going to rub on this side over here. It looks like somebody, it looks like a prototype of some sort. I'm not sure who made this. It's interesting. And I'm a bender nut, so I'm always interested in people's ideas. This back here is a major problem. There's too much slop in here, and there's no stability in here, so there's going to be tuning nightmares with that. On the flip side of this, looks like somebody took a telly knob. This guitar actually looks like a Squier vintage modified double bound, which these are actually cool guitars. I've put B-benders in quite a few of these. I could tell by the pick guard and that kind of relicking on the bridge. And these are actually really, really cool guitars. These electronics are not the greatest. The pickups don't sound too bad though. But that is what looks to be just a regular old telly knob that somebody is putting a drill press and sanded all the knobbies off of. And yeah, so not quite sure what I'm going to run into here, but the idea was there. It's just not functional the way it was. They drilled holes in the top of the C channel, and cut that out. So the other problem they had with this is they were using a Strat spring, which is definitely not heavy enough of a spring. So you're gonna run into problems with that anyway. And they had it hooked. They had it hooked on here and then latched in on top. This is not that big of a problem, although leverage. The angle for the leverage is generally you want to keep it a little bit more of a 45. This is not that big of a deal though. It'll work like that. It absolutely won't work if you go the opposite direction. It totally defeats the purpose. It gives you too long of a throw. So they got that part pretty close. But the problem is this thing is just, it's slop back and forth in here. Now, that generally isn't a big problem to have a little bit of slop in there. You're supposed to have a little bit of play. But using a nylon bushing or spacer, if I was going to do that to extend a throw, I would only do it with a tiny spacer at the very end. I wouldn't have half the weight of the bender on it, because you can tell by looking straight down that this thing is going, it's cocked up like that. It's not a straight, it's not straight. It's definitely got a little bit of a curl to it. Try to straighten it out if I can, but yeah. So this is my project. I have some sessions coming up, so I'm going to be taking off here in a couple of days. But if anybody knows who did this bender, please let me know, because I have no idea. I've never seen one like this, and I'm probably going to have to rip it all out and start over again to fix my friend's guitar. But that being said, I'd still like to know who did this. Just because it might be one of those homemade benders that you never see another one of. There's always a couple of benders that are out there that are like impossibly rare. Some of them work great. Some of them just don't work. This one feels like it might work a little bit, but that's a problem because it's catching and there's not even any tension on it. It's not even bottomed out there. It's stopping before it gets to the end. So, and that's going to give you tuning problems. And if there's any slack going up and down, but it's back and forth is same thing. Anyway, I'm back in the shop. I've been sick. I've been under the weather. I've had some, everybody knows I got some family issues that I've been going through. But I am back in the shop, and I am still alive, and I'm back to work. I've got some sessions coming up the next few days, and then I will be back in the shop working on this guitar, a couple other guitars. I got a double bender install to do, and I have a single bender install to do. So, like, subscribe, share, hit that bell for notifications and everything. And if anybody knows what kind of bender this is, like who made this, I've got a couple of pointers. I could tell the person that made it to where they might be able to, do this again without having that kind of a, that's not going to work. Anyway, I'm all about benders that work and crazy ones too. I collect benders, and I fix a lot of people's benders that, they're test driving and trying to figure out how to do it. I think it's cool. I was once a kid that made crazy looking stuff like this, and most of the time it didn't work, and I ripped it out and started over again, and I finally perfected it. But yeah, so let me know if anybody knows. And hit that bell for notifications, and hopefully I'll get back on here and start posting more stuff soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.